Welcome back at it again, ladies and gentlemen. Ruben Maria over here. We're back again with a very exciting video. We're having a beautiful interview with a very beautiful, phenomenal, entrepreneurial, bold, the legal mind, Mrs. Bodum Rulis. I'm giving you the best introduction you ever had.
You wish, eh? I've seen the best.
You've seen the best.
Yes.
I try.
Okay, are they talking about me? Yeah.
So this doesn't make you feel like that?
No, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Madam, welcome.
Thank
to
you.
Tough Live.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
to
giving
the
us-
viewers.
Yeah, thank you for giving us your time. You know it's after hours and everything, but we just thought I'd come around and just to talk about your success. I don't know if you're calling it success already, but then I feel like from where you started to where you are now in the legal profession and as a woman, you've recorded like it's impressive. It's a success. So thank you so much. We're here to inspire the young ones, and that's just about it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
we want to know this woman. Like, who's Miss Bodum Truly? What does she really do? Like anyway, I said law, doing some great work and everything. But then all in all, like how did it start? And let's get to know this person.
All right. But it's from the ring, just 23 case outside of Polokwane. I first born at home to Isaac and Florina Mamabolo. And the law part started at home, like one incident. I met a guy, actually a couple, a boyfriend and a girlfriend, on the road while I was coming back from school, because I used to travel to my high school at the Patalatsani High School. When I was coming back, this guy was trying to force this girl to go with him. And that did not sit well with me. And I was pretty tiny, not as big as I am now. And this guy, this guy was with this. And as I passed, I could hear that there was just aggression towards the girl. And the girl was insisting, I'm not going with you. And I passed. But I could not proceed with my journey. I turned. I said, but she's saying she's not coming with you.
It can't be done in that way.
It's not going to be done that way. And he said, I don't nyaki.
Yeah.
And he was right.
Yeah.
I said nyaki, and I did not even ask what were they fighting about, but it just did not sit well with me. And from that time onwards, and from also watching TV, your Judge Judy's and whatnot, I began to love justice. And that's how the love of justice began. And I pursued LLB.
That's how it developed. So where did you get your qualifications?
I got my undergraduate degree from the University of Venda for Science and Technology.
Okay.
That has to be. No, it has always been.
Is it?
It has always been.
Okay.
Yes, it has always been University of Venda for Science and Technology. Yes,
okay.
before the Minister of Science and Technology could be even installed. And then from there I went and did my LLB with the University of Limpopo. That's where I got my qualifications. And here I'm a Limpopo-based legal practitioner. Former magistrate at Libohomo Magistrate Court, then called Tabamoko Magistrate Court, former magistrate at Polokwane Magistrate Court, and a former acting judge of the High Court, Limpopo, Polokwane. Yes, that's me.
Wow. So, you in your career, there was a time where you decided to take a very, very, very big, bold step and say, you know what, I'm practicing at this certain law firm, but there's something burning in me. I need to stand up on my own. And you decided to start your own law firm. When was this, and why the idea? Like, why did you risk it?
Funny enough, it was not even something that I planned.
Yeah.
Circumstances forced me to open my law firm. Well, I knew as an attorney that one day in my journey, I would be a director or open my own law firm. But at the time when I opened, I had not thought about it, more so because I had not even saved any money for it. I had no resources for it. And I was happy at my workplace. I worked for ML Mashoro Attorneys, which was at 30 Jefferson Street. Then my principal died a year, if not two ago. I was even the MC at his memorial service. May his soul rest in peace. And out of a silly just misunderstanding of office staff workers, I quit my job like in the movies, Jay, and I quit, and I left and went home.
Just like that.
Just like that, like the scene of that day in that office, it was like in the movies. Every time when I think about that, I'm like, but were you crazy? Because I did not think about it. I didn't. It was just a spur of a moment thing. I just said, "Are you done?" When he finished whatever, he said, like, "Are you done?" I said, "Yes," and I said, "I quit."
Wow.
And I took my bag and I walked out.
Wow, like you won some lottery and you go like, I'm living boss.
My goodness. And I left without a salary, without a saving. I was the breadwinner at home with my parents not working, my siblings depending on me. And a month after, actually not even a month, some days thereafter, I registered my law firm. And then,
What was in your mind at the time?
like, I was so mad with what had happened, and I felt the nerve of,
Yeah.
of this man after I put all my sweat
Yeah.
and energy, and especially from something that I did not do,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
At least, and honestly, I did not think much of it. I thought, well, the following day he will call me, I will go back to work, and I was not going to have an issue with that.
So
And-
you didn't
and-
mean to resign?
Not
like,
necessarily.
It was just anger.
Yeah, it was just anger. I did not mean to resign. Well, I did not even think about it. It was just a spur of a moment thing, and he did not call. And every day he came in the office, and the staff would call me.
At what
He was
age was
here.
you?
2007. I was born in 1982. I'm a lawyer, so math is not my
Yeah,
strength.
okay.
So
Okay, fine.
do the math.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but
That would cause some calculations.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
so every day my staff then supporting staff would call and say he came, he was asking about you. I put you at miracle because he was also expecting me to come back,
Yeah.
and I didn't. And there I was expecting him to call me, and he was expecting me to call him, and both our prides got in the way, and that's how
Yeah.
that's how I left. And eventually I realized this was not going on. And one of my friends said to me while I was home, as thinking about what's going to happen with me, doomed and all of that, and says, "What do you have?" I said, "What do you mean? What do I have? What do you have?" I said, I have an admission." So, why are you crying?
Yeah.
You have your admission.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Yeah.
And immediately thereon, I registered my law firm with my address at home. And 13
No
years.
savings.
No savings, no laptop, no desktop.
No loan from
No loan.
government.
No name, like no name. Honestly, no
That was
name.
a big one.
No name.
That was a big one.
That was a big one because even when we were getting our salaries, it was not even paid into our account. He was paying us by cash. We would go to the Absa Bank and queue. If they call him and he doesn't answer his phone, I would turn back because they have not confirmed the check. So I had no name, as in like the bank's language. I had
So
no
how
name.
was the transition? Like now you using your home address, you must bring an income, like you have to build your client base, like
Well, thank goodness for me, because even when I was there, I worked because I understood that I was a brand. When people see you at court or wherever you are doing, you're rendering a service, it's about you. It's not even about the firm that you come from. It's about you and what you do. So I've always been a servant throughout. So I served the people well, even with that. So that on its own helped me, because those people, when they went there and could not find me, they followed me. I did not take any of the clients.
Yeah.
I did not even call any of them, but they went.
your work.
Yes, my work spoke for itself, and they followed me, and it was tough. There were days I carried my bag, the lawyer's bag, in a taxi, taxis,
Yeah.
changing taxis between, I would take the taxi from Bloody River, get to town, from town, get to my office, which was then at 40 Beckett Street. And after work, I would take the taxi from 40 Beckett Street to Indian Center, where my home taxis were, and then go home. So that's how I felt it. I even got used to the
So
taxi drivers.
this went on for how long? Like before you could actually find your own space.
No, I think I got my office sometime in March the following year, 2008. And I operated my first office at 40 Beckett Street. And that's where I stayed for quite a while.
Yeah.
For quite a while I was there. And things just began to take shape. I got I got a second-hand computer. This tribe, and funny enough, today I'm married to one. Hey?
Ah, hooray. Yeah.
Like that guy, I even know his name. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I saw him the other day. I'm like, this guy who claimed to be a doctor
Ah.
at the clinic and all of that. And
So he sold
and
you
I
a
said,
computer.
yes,
That's a fine fact.
second-hand computer, and that's all I had, and that's all I could afford at the time. So I
Yeah.
started from a second-hand computer. I took my sister. I trained her to be a secretary because at the time I could not hire a qualified receptionist. I had no income, so because I had no income, I could not have a salary for anybody. So I started with her and I started training her from, and that's how it
Then
came.
how did you grow, like, in terms of like training the clients? Like, what services were you offering in your law firm?
When you start, you're a
Just
general
doing
practitioner. Yes, you're a general practitioner.
GP.
You're a GP. You can't be a gynae. You can't be an
Yeah.
optometrist. You do everything.
Mhm.
And over time, that's where you realize that actually I'm a more skilled, or my
Yeah.
expertise lie in this particular area. And sometimes it's not even that. It's about the clientele that comes. Like even now, when I check my revenue, there are certain streams that bring more money than others, and not by choice. They just seem to just follow. You know, you help one person, maybe for example with a divorce, and all of a sudden you become a divorce lawyer, not by
Yeah.
choice, but because you've served this particular person and they refer other people who have been in the same
No, I
situation.
can see the revenue, right? I see the revenue.
Don't be deceived.
So, how has it been, like, you as a woman, like, being in the kind of a profession?
The masculine profession, male-dominated profession.
Is it still male dominated?
Yes, it is.
Is
It is, and I think it's going to be for quite some time, and more
But
so even.
we see like females graduating.
But where do you
some are
see them?
sending the-
You see them at the graduation, and where else do you see them? How many law firms are run by women in Polokwane? How many?
Yeah, not so.
Yes, and
I don't know why.
they just fall through the cracks
Yeah.
as we go on, and it's quite a very challenging profession because it's quite demanding, and the younger you are, the better I think you can function. It because the older you get, you're a wife, you're a mother. We work long hours.
Mm.
When you knock off at the office, you have not knocked off for the day.
Mm.
You still need to prepare for the day, for the next day, and your working hours are not normal. So if you don't have a supportive family, supportive spouse, and whatever, it becomes even more challenging. That is why most of the time some women fall along the way. So, and our counterparts who are men, they still have these prejudices against us. They think we belong in the maintenance court, in the divorce court. Other matters we're not suitable to do, and that's why we knock them, because when they meet with us, they're like, okay, the okay woman, and they don't even do their homework, and then you kick the butt there.
So you started off like being a GP, as you said, and now that it's been what
13 years
13 years.
of my own practice.
Damn.
And how many years? Maybe 15 years in practice. Yeah, in total, yeah, 15 years in practice. I'm
So
old.
like
I'm old.
yeah, but wait.
I'm old. At least now you had.
You
Yes.
had you. So what services are you guys offering now? Like,
Well, we still offer generally a general practice,
Yeah.
but like I'm saying, over the years, there are certain services that have fallen off
okay.
by themselves,
Yeah.
like literally have fallen off, not by necessarily choice. So our expertise in the firm is administration of estates,
Okay.
family law, criminal law, which is my favorite, and ask me why.
Why?
For the art of the court. I love argument. I love
You
presentation.
like debate.
Yes, I like debate.
Yeah.
So that's where nothing is black and white.
Yeah.
You get in there with nothing and then come out with something just by your skill. So, and I know most people might think, but you represent the facts and all of that. but
Did you ever have to go through like some challenges where you feel they're coming in simply because you're a woman?
Not really. I was asked, what have I experienced as a bad thing for me? And I must say, honestly, personally, I have not suffered anything as a result of being a woman. In state, I've had a very joyous ride in this profession, though, this far.
It's not like it's supposed to be bad because you're a woman.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I've not personally had those challenges, but I know that there are women who suffer a lot of challenges from number one, getting an article, just getting articles. Most people sleep their way through getting articles because there are no articles available. When you find this particular person who's willing to give you articles, but you find out later that unfortunately they want to sleep with you, not necessarily have you articles. And when you get there, you find you're not even doing legal work. You're a secretary, you're a trophy girlfriend or wife, and things like that. And just general abuse, whether verbal and sexual and otherwise. So those I know. I don't take for granted. I know that those are very real in our profession, and we are dealing with them in one of our organizations that I'm part of, South African Women Lawyers Association. So those are alive and they are there.
Like
And the
career
bullying.
highlights? Yeah, workplace
Bullying,
Yeah,
yes.
it's crazy. Career highlights, like
Being the judge of the High Court in
yeah.
You know, ever since
What did you preside on? Like
I
something that
presided
you-
over civil matters, I
Wow,
presided
okay.
over criminal matters
Yeah.
while I was here at the Polokwane, and I'm hoping I'm gonna go back there. But as a young girl, in my dreams, every night when I slept, all I had was all rise, Judge Put presiding.
Wow.
So that is the ultimate. All this is by the way to the bench. So watch out.
So are we leaving this one behind?
Unfortunately, I can't have the practice as well as be on the bench on a permanent basis.
Yeah.
Now I'm able to do that because I'm on acting on a contract. But the minute I'm appointed permanently, then I will have to close down everything and then or sell it.
That's not nice.
Yeah, it's not nice,
Sell.
but you know, there are options. I
Yeah.
can sell the name, I can sell the business and make it a condition of the sale that the name remains. For example, our judge president, Ian Makhoba, he used to be a director at a law firm here, Makhoba Home in Makhalengatini. Today it is still there. Both the two, Home and Makhoba, are judges of the High Court. They are no longer there, but the name is still there. So I can also be able to do that.
So how do you deal with, you know, like black community, like, lawyer, and all that, and you're running a business at the same time? I know you are just come around like my sister. How do you deal with that kind of thinking and the perception that you have, like I gotta go
Yeah, my
and show
needs.
Zach and you.
Like every time when I used to go home then, before I educated my parents, it used to be like a toll gate. When you get home, you know, you find people waiting for you, even consultations that are not planned. When you get home from work tired, you find a queue at home, and I'm like, and they don't want to come to your office. They don't want to pay consultation because they think, no, you know, like, oh, which is. I mean, do you understand that when you're asking me and I'm giving you advice, that's my work. That's what I bread and butter. So I educated my parents. I told them, please, when a person comes here, here's my business card. They must come to the office. Because I used to work like tirelessly. When I get home, I would find my community members there. And remember, I come from Dering. Dering, there was a time, there was Baramateki, Limawatwat, that's the community where I come from. So there was a whole lot of gangs and boys who were involved in these criminal activities. And it was really bad. And the perception that as a lawyer, you are moneyed, you have money flowing all over around you all the time. And it's not. It's really not. We are all making ends meet, and we have dues to pay.
True that.
The ones that you were looking at is dues to pay. Yeah, so but it's quite a fulfilling career, and you get comfortable. Yeah, you live on
nice.
it. You live on it.
Floating. Like, was there any case that you found difficult to handle? Like, I don't know how you guys deal with this, but you have to, like, in your work, you find that you have to deal with a certain case, conflict. Like, you know, there's like a conflict, spiritual beliefs, like emotions, like the thinking and like personal attributes, and say, but I have to take it up.
For starters, I'm a Christian, for the record. And the perception that is in the Christian community is that you can't be a lawyer and a Christian at the same time. That is just a
Depending with
given.
the judgment.
Yes, that's what the community says, given. And that is a wrong perception for that matter. I usually talk to parents and say, especially with the criminal side, because when they talk about law and Christianity, they're looking only in the criminal side of the law. There's a whole lot of sectors that are involved in the legal profession. It's not only the criminal side. But when I started my career, I had troubles with the criminal part of it. Because here I was in a court. I remember there was a time I represented this client who had done, who had committed rape. I had to represent my client, and my client walked without any conviction whatsoever, was discharged. And basically because the state could not prove its case. Remember, the onus is on the state to prove the case of the accused beyond reasonable doubt. And when I got out of there, my client was patting me on the shoulder, happy, like, and here I was in my heart. I sank. I struggled. That was the beginning years of my life. It was really difficult for me. I could not celebrate. I every time prayed, Father forgive me, Father forgive me. And when I was in the courtroom, I was brutal in cross-examination. I do all of that. That's why most of the time when people ask me what I do, I tell them I'm an actress.
Okay.
I'm an actress. Why?
Yeah.
Because once I get into the courtroom, I get into character.
Put on, yeah.
I get into a character, I perform, and when I get out of there, I leave everything. Then I go out, export.
Yeah.
But what is demanded in there, I will go all the way. And when I get out of there, I leave it. Now I'm able to get into a client's issue, and still my emotions are not attached because it comes over a period of time and over working at this thing. But when you start, it's quite a challenge, and I had to go through that. And I remember there was a time I dealt with a case where it was a murder, and the client was caught with a gun in the hands, and I had to tell a story, and I told a story that created doubt in the magistrate. And I remember when we went to court, it was at Ramatlala, and when we went to court, I told this client, today you were going to be convicted, but it will be on culpable homicide, not murder direct. And when we got there, the judge said, no, I'm not finding guilty of anything. That today, that still remains my highlight of the career. But somebody's thinking, but that was murder. But to me, it's a highlight because of what happened along or during that particular trial. You see, so it's a package, it's part of the territory.
As we're closing, like as a businesswoman, as a legal practitioner, or what is it that a young girl who's sitting and who aspires to be where you are today, like, can take home from you?
Baby girl, you don't have to come from anywhere, the suburbs or the so-called places where things are happening. I come from a village where even now I can't remember any other professional except me. Like literally, as I'm thinking now, I can't recall any other professional except me. Sadly, as that may be. And I came from parents who were unemployed at the time, from a two-bedroom house, not even and I had a dream. That dream fueled and channeled everything I had. You know, there are people who would say, I don't have a father, and because I don't have a father, I can't be a good dad. But there are others who say, I've never had a father, I'm going to be the best dad that I can be. So your circumstances, you're the one who determines how they can be the best thing or the bad thing for you. You can use them as an excuse, or you can use them as an inspiration to say, I don't want to be here. I can't be struggling with every day. I have to do something to get out of this, even if it's me standing on the corner, 50 cents per sweet and I sell 2 a day. It's something. Do something with your life, and nobody's gonna do it for you. Nobody, unfortunately. Even if your parents love you enough, your friends love you enough, your boyfriend loves you, they're not gonna do anything for you. You need to do it for yourself, because even if they do something for you, it will be for a while, and they get tired. People get tired. People get tired. They will help you, but they will get tired. So rather find something that will help you, and that is education, because nobody can take it away from you. We are in these challenging times of COVID and everything. Some people have lost loved ones, some people have lost jobs, but they still have dedication. So nobody can take that away from you, and with that, it can open doors for you that nobody else can, because you've got something that no one can take away. But if you have a boyfriend, he may be dead. You have a mother, she can die and go. But that education that you persist and you go after, it will help you beyond and beyond. And here am I still, I've not arrived. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm actually not where I was yesterday. And that for me, it's something worth living for, it's something worth fighting for, it's something worth pushing for. I'm still going to strive and go on and serve the people of Limpopo and wherever the opportunities that God allows me to be at.
So doing good.
Yes,
As I present my case to you,
yes.
thank you so much for your time, for talking to us, giving us the inspiration and everything.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for seeing us.
No, you are visible. You are visible. You are everywhere. We see you. We see you. We hear about you. We read about you. Man, like it's very inspirational what you're doing, and
Thank you so
I
much.
just wish most of us can stand up, and those that are coming and can hear you out, and like really following your footsteps, and like don't give up. We want to see you on the bench.
Yes, yes. Watch the space. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I
Guys, that's how we wrap it up. That's how we wrap it up. Thank you for subscribing and liking our videos and sharing our videos. And keep the comments coming. They're truly inspirational. They're motivating us to give you more content every day. So yeah, that's how we wrap it up. Cheers.